Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, who joins us from Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Adesina, for joining us tonight on the program. Let me perhaps begin the conversation in what may be some of the biggest story in the land as we talk today. And I'd like you to listen to a governor, the governor of Benue State, what is said as regarding the issue of security and the way and manner the federal government and the president is approaching things. Take a listen to the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom.
When I talk, I was being castigated. I was being vilified. Nothing bad that was not said against me. I am this and that. But the reality is here. It is not just happening to Benue State today. It is happening to the entire country. Why is the federal government being silent about this Fulani man?
Mr. Adesina, how does the president react, or what's the president's reaction to what Mr. Ortom has said? He's asked a specific question, that why is the president or the federal government silent on the killer herders, those who are carrying AK-47?
If the governor will say that he hasn't heard the president speak on that matter, that's what he should make clear. It's not that the president hasn't spoken. Because a number of times the president has spoken on that issue, and his position has always been the same. Anybody, whoever he is, that carries arms unlawfully should be arrested and prosecuted. The president has said it countless times, and that is the position. No matter who he is, wherever he comes from, criminality is criminality. Anybody bearing arms unlawfully must be arrested and prosecuted. That's the position of the president.
When the president made a reaction to what the Ondo State governor said as regarding banning open grazing and giving ultimatum to those who are in the forest and who are carrying arms and, in Ondo forest, in the forest reserves in Ondo State, there was a swift reaction from the president, which gave a lot of Nigerians worries, especially those who reacted to it. The manner in which the president had reacted to that matter at the time brought some suspicion. And so perhaps that's one of the reasons why he's speaking about this, and particularly because when fingers are pointed, especially to a particular ethnic stock where the president is also from, don't you think that there needs to be some very critical or categorical statement coming from the president that there is no endorsement of any sort of some of these bad behaviors?
Every statement from the president is categorical. Anything the president says is categorical. So you don't need to ask for any categorical statement again. And many times he has spoken about this. Remember that some few days before the Ondo saga, there had been the Sokoto one, in which some people gave ultimatum to Bishop Hassan Kuka of the Catholic Diocese to leave town. The presidency was against it. Would we say the president spoke because Bishop Kuka was also Fulani? Not at all. Not at all. The president is the president of the whole country. And peace and security of the country devolves on him. And he must do everything fairly and impartially at all times.
When the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, visited the president, some of the leaders of the APC in Daura, he made a very categorical statement. He's a Fulani man as well. And he said that one of the solutions, or the solutions to this problem, is to stop the movement of cattle or herders moving from the southern region of the country to the northern region of the country. There seems not to be a reaction of the federal government in this direction when there seems to be a major problem. But a governor of the APC, the ruling party, is giving an idea on how to resolve it, but there is no response, or there is no backing from the president. How do you think Nigerians will react to it, Mr. Adesina?
No. when you have knotty issues like this, many ideas will be proffered, many solutions will be canvassed. The president does not have to speak on each and every one of them. It does not have to. It was just an idea being proffered. It should be looked into. And if it is a consensus, then it should be adopted. But it's not that one idea comes and the president speaks on it. Another idea comes and the president speaks on it. Such must be a very talkative president.
No, but in this matter, Mr. Adesina, it has to do with life and death. Because people's lives are being affected, impacted. People are being maimed and killed. People are being kidnapped right in their homes. People are deserting their own homes. People are no longer safe in their own farmsteads, in their own homes. These are not just any other kind of issue. These are specific issues that has to do with security of lives of citizens of this country. And when people are saying that there is a major concern and there is a governor who is giving an idea on which way to go, and so would you describe this as just any other issue, Mr. Adesina?
Now you have dwelt on the problems now extensively, which I think is the problem in Nigeria. And even with the media, of which I'm part, we keep dwelling on the problem and pay little, scant attention to solutions. On this program, I watched it when you devoted the whole program to that idea from Governor Ganduje. So ideas will need to be discussed back and forth and critically assessed. It's not that when an idea comes, immediately you take it and you say, this is the solution. It never happens that way in a country. You must discuss things back and forth till you arrive at what you can call a consensus, something that will be generally acceptable. There was a time that the country seemed to have agreed that ranching was the solution to this problem. And when the federal government embraced it, some states began to say, no, we don't have land. We will not give our land for ranches. And before then, it had been generally agreed that ranching will be the solution. In fact, in most parts of the world, cattle are kept in ranches. But Nigeria is a peculiar country. When the federal government has no land, for instance, and if states say we don't have land for ranches, then another solution has to be found. So we need to discuss these things and appraise them critically until we get to what we can call the solution. But it's good that it's been discussed, and gradually I think we'll get there.
All right, we are due for a break, but just in a few seconds before we go, so let us know, Mr. Adesina, what is President Buhari's position in terms of the way forward as we speak as of now to resolving the issue? Not only the fact that, let's stop this and let's stop, it's the fact that people are being killed. What is President Buhari's position now?
His position has always been that anybody that bears arms unlawfully should be arrested and tried, irrespective of where it comes from. That is his position. And some other positions that have been canvassed on settling these issues, the president has spoken about them. The old cattle routes we know that have been taken over by civilization. So it means we will have to look into ranching. Governor Tom that you quoted earlier, I remember had spoken about ranching in the past. He has spoken about ranching in the past. But suddenly, he would then turn around and say, no, we don't have land again for ranches. At another time, they said Ruga settlements. People came up in arms and said, no, we don't have land for Ruga. Others will say, no, animal rearing is a private enterprise. Government must not be involved in it. It brings the question, are we interested in settling these issues and settling them permanently to the good of all the sides? That's something we must consider as Nigerians.
Well, Mr. Adesina, you and I know that the issue of ethnicity is always a very touchy one in the country, and so it needs to be carefully handled. And perhaps the reason why a lot of Nigerians are worried is because President Buhari is from the ethnic stock where these fingers are being, perhaps they needed President Buhari to to perhaps the Fulanis to say, the bad Fulani herders should stop. Perhaps that's what people are expecting. But I'll allow you to dwell more on that matter and some other issues when we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll get about talking on these matters. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation with Mr. Femi Adesina. Perhaps on a final note on the issue of the farmer herders clash and President Buhari's approach to it, some question that some Nigerians are asking is, if truly there is an effort or there is a major reaction for the president, is how many of these killer herders have been arrested?
Thank you. I don't have that figure at my fingertips, but I remember that the vice president made that figure available sometime in the past, and it was in hundreds, those who had been arrested and were awaiting trial. I don't have the current figure, but I know that a lot of people are awaiting trial out of those clashes. But one thing I'd like to stress is that it is anomalous to say a whole ethnic group are criminals or killers. No. It's not right to stereotype a whole ethnic group. There are always bad eggs among any ethnic group. Any ethnic group will have its bad eggs. And if bad eggs come from any ethnic group, they need to be dealt with, and dealt with as criminals. You don't then stereotype that entire ethnic group. So the president has said it. If anybody commits crime, whichever ethnic group he comes from, if he's Fulani, please arrest him and let him answer for it.
But
out of
these people, Mr. Adesina, out of these people that you have mentioned, that you said they are in hundreds, how many of convictions as the because this is usually a criminal offense, so it's an offense against the state. So how many of them have been convicted?
I wouldn't know, because the executive does not convict. It's the judiciary that convicts. But
the police,
for instance,
the police, for example, Mr. Adesina, the police will take those kind of cases to court, because they will, statutory, the police have the powers to prosecute these kind of cases. The police IG answers to the president. So the president should have, or the presidency should have, answers to some of these issues. No, that's a simplistic way to see it. If the police prosecutes, the police has a spokesman. They meet him. How many people have been prosecuted and how many have been convicted? I remember that when the farm of Chief Olufalaye was vandalized and even burnt down by some people who turned out to be Fulani criminals, they were taken to court and they were jailed. They were convicted. So it's a matter of, from the police, from the judiciary, find the statistics of those who have been taken to court and who have been convicted. It will not be a matter for the presidency at this point in time. So Mr. Adesina, let's leave that matter and go into some other policy and governance related matter as regarding how the president is handling these issues. Is the president worried about the optics of how citizens see him or perceive his government in the light of the legality of his actions? Take, for example, when the president announced the extension of the tenure of the IG, a lot of lawyers, senior lawyers in the land, said that was an illegal action and that the IG stands a retired officer, and under the law, the president does not have the power to do so. Why does it look so much that the president has not reacted to that decision, or reacted or reversed his decision that a lot of people have said are illegal? That is on one hand. The other angle was that it looks like a belated action when the president should, according to lawyers, have gone to the National Assembly to first and foremost inform them of his willingness to nominate service chiefs. The president did that after he has first made the announcement. This has been done in the past, but they have said it is wrong. These are some of the illegal issues that have been raised, and allegedly by lawyers that have been raised as the actions of President Buhari.
Well, what you know is that lawyers are one set of professionals who never all agree on the same issue. You find them all positioning on different sides of an issue. The president has an attorney general, a minister of justice, who advises him on all legal issues. There are many decisions the president will want to take, and he will first ask the attorney general for the legal opinion, for the legal angle to it. And it is when he's been properly briefed on the legality of it that he goes ahead to do it. So don't think the president will just do things according to whims and caprices. No, he seeks opinions, particularly legal opinions. On the issue of the service chiefs, in 2015, when he appointed the service chiefs, yes, he appointed them and sent their names to the National Assembly, which approved. This time, it has also been done. I think it's not a matter that is very germane in terms of legality or not. All that matters is after he has exercised his prerogative, because it is his prerogative to pick the service chiefs, he then sends it to the National Assembly for concurrence.
So, Mr. Adesina, you're telling us that it is right for the president to allow a retired police officer to be the Inspector General of Police, and that the president is legal from the point of view of the presidency.
It is within the prerogative of the president to appoint who the Inspector General of Police will be, and he has done that. Whether he's retired or not is a legal matter. I know some lawyers are in court. The court will pronounce on it. I am not a lawyer. Even if I was a lawyer, I'm not a judge. The lawyers are still not judges. It is judges, eventually, who will adjudicate on the matter.
Thank you so much, Mr. Femi Adesina, but we have to leave it at that. Thank you for giving us your views on some of these issues and the position of the presidency on some of these national issues. Thank you indeed. The spokesperson of the president, Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Femi Adesina, has been our guest tonight. But that's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye for now.
These guys are cowards, man. For real. Listening to them doesn't make no sense because they're just vibing out and speaking grammar with no actions. Ask them, why have they not interviewed the president, the vice president, the wife of the president, Aisha, that relocated to Dubai, chief of armed staff, chief of staff? You know what I'm saying? Let the Buhari, the fake Buhari, that man from Niger, speak for food, and let the Nigerians, the so-called Nigerians, the animals in that zoo, ask him questions. And let him come out like the dead Buhari used to do and speak to the people. Why is he hiding? The man sitting there is fake Buhari. The wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, is no more. Is nowhere to be seen. She fled and relocated to Dubai. The woman explained and exposed that his husband is no more. He told all the Nigerians with different signs and on different occasions. Even the time she was being pursued and beaten up in Asurok, which you all know it and saw the video. So all these guys are missing the president, and this guy is sitting there with the co-worker because two of them are just the same. This channel television is just like for the president. I mean, it's just like for the Fulanis because they bought them over. Ask them, how are they getting their money? Because I know that the main important thing of media, where they reasonably get their money openly, is through advertisement. But these guys, I haven't seen nothing, none of that issue in their broadcast and in their TV. I haven't seen none of that issues from them. So how are they making their money? Why they are just pretending to be like speaking grammar with no sensible emerging words right there is because the Fulanis are right now in Yoruba land, ravaging, raping and killing people right there. So that's why you see him coming up with like, you know, questioning Adesina and some other co-workers. During the time Fulanis was in Biafra land, are they doing all this? Is he questioning people about harassment and all that? Yoruba people are chameleon, bro. No, man, they are chameleon. They are nothing. We don't see them as anything because Fulanis have already conquered them. Afonja is gone. Lorraine, gone. That is, you know what I'm saying? Yoruba, we don't see them as humans. Anyways, they are just chameleon. Soyinka, you guys don't see what Soyinka is saying. Because Fulanis went to his farm and destroyed farm, he cannot make salad no more. He started complaining. The war is in our doorstep. Oh. When they are ravaging our place, Biafra land, killing, raping, destroying, kidnapping, harvesting organs, and you know what I'm saying, doing all that type of shit. This man, all of them, they did not say nothing. But anyway, I wish you guys like, Fulanis will destroy you, you're completely gone. Final, they will finish all the table. Look at the media. I'm journalist. Just go and research Channels TV, how they make their money. They have been put over for a long time. They are now the national TV of the zoo called Nigeria. Ask them, what is the meaning of Nigeria? Really, these guys are, their shame is shaming me for it. There are a lot to say. Otun, governor of Benin State, talking with both sides of his mouth. Like, today we talk this one, hey, this one, they are killing us, they are killing our people. There is no president. And he knows that. Him coming openly and speaking and all. Anyways, we made it possible. IPOB made it possible. Mazinan Dekan made it possible that people can come over right now and be vibing out, speaking openly, telling Nigerians, the zoo people, animals, with no action. Maybe they protest today and that's it. Why not hold that protest? With no understanding and with no action. So Otun saying whatever he's saying when he will say this today, they are celebrating. No, there is no president, there is no wife of the president, chief of armed staff, chief of staff, vice president. Bro, you guys see all this. He's just saying with no action. You don't see us? IPOB came, Mazinando came by the special grace of the Most High Chukwuka Biama. ESN was created. That's why we have no more Fulanis like before. No ravaging, nothing whatsoever this time in Biafra land. Even the police. But anyway, the Most High will deal with everything in Biafra land and Biafra must come. That's my last word right now. I would like urge you guys to like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on your notification bells on because more is on the way. I'm out.